Here's Moby Dick by Led Zeppelin. Big power chords and all that kind of stuff. Awesome riff, one of the classic Led Zeppelin riffs from Led Zeppelin 2, Jimmy Page. The key to that one, guys, is the drop D tuning. That's how you get that deep note. All right, so let's go through it note for note, the riff and the solo. And, you know, at the end of it, you may not be able to say that you've read Moby Dick, but at least you'll be able to say you can play Moby Dick. All right, we'll see you in just a few seconds. Okay, so here we are with note for note for Moby Dick. Okay, first things first, we want to do a drop D tuning. Okay, so that just means you tune your sixth string down to a D from an E. The way to do that is to take. That would be a standard tuning, right? Okay, and we're going to drop the sixth string a whole step down to D, like so. We're going to match it with the fourth. There we go. Okay, should mention that I'm doing this out of a 70s type of Marshall sound, so it's kind of raw, kind of harsh. Got the gain crank way up using the bridge pickup, as shown right here. Okay, so here we go. All right, so here we go. So Moby Dick basically consists of three riffs out of a blues scale in D. Now remember, we're dropping the D so we can get that low sixth string. Okay, so here's the first riff, and we're going to play it 4 times. So it's an open D, and then the D on the fifth string, 5th fret. Okay. All right, so it's that. All right, so I'll play the riff very slowly. All right, so what that is open D, then you're going to play the 5th on the 5th string twice, and then walk down to the 3rd, and then play the 5th and the 3rd again on the 6th string. Like so. You play that 4 times, and that's the main riff. Okay? Very cool, very simple. And the only thing I can add to that is sometimes on the 3rd string, 6th string, 3rd fret, 6th string, you're going to bend up a little bit. So it sounds kind of like this. Exaggerate that a bit, but that's the point. Okay? You're going to bend it just a little bit. The second riff is a little bit trickier because normally you'd be able to use an open A, but of course, you'd be able to use the G right here. But of course, that's no longer a G, so we're going to have to play the G here on the 6th string because we've tuned it down a whole step. So this one is the G riff, and it goes like this. Then we're back to the first. So we play it twice. This one is you play on the 5th, you're going to play the 5th on the 6th string, the 5th on the 4th string, twice, and then roll down to the 3rd, And I play the third on the fifth. So you're playing the fifth on the fourth. You're playing the third on the fourth, and then you're playing the third on the fifth string. Sliding down and playing the first. Okay, and then we're back to the original riff. We'll play that twice. Now I'll play the last riff. I'll play it very slowly and then we'll break it down, okay? So it goes like this. Okay, so that one is done by playing the open A. Okay, and we're going to play in the third on the fourth string. I'm sorry, the seventh on the fourth string, 7th fret. So that's just normal, kind of going from the 7th to the 5th and then down to the 5th string, 7th. But then we're going to go back up to the 7th fret on the 4th string. So it's pivoting on the 5th and 4th strings and between the 5th and the 7th. Okay, the last part is you'll play this G on the 4th string, which is the 5th fret, 5 times. Then on the 5th string you play an 8th fret. Followed by the 5th. And then we're going to go all the way up to the 5th on the 3rd string and go and hammer on onto the 7th. And then just kind of walk down 5th and 7th frets until you get to 8th fret on the 5th string. Like so. Alright, and then you're back to the beginning. Let's play that last riff one more time really slowly because it is a bit tricky. Okay, there you go. Now, on the solo bits, basically, you play it on the last part of whatever, the last one of those riffs. So, for example, for the D riff, like this one, you're going to play it on the 4th one. So you play this 3 times. And then you'll play it the 4th time through. You'll play the little solo piece. In this case, it's okay. And you'll notice that you don't play the last note on that particular riff every time you play that solo, and that just gives you time to shift back and forth between the neck. So it's like this. Right? Instead of... which is hard to play very quickly if you're hitting that last note. So you leave off that last note and you play into the riff. Okay, so the riff is basically, the solo is basically 4 lines. The first line comes after this. And it's a standard, as we said, this is in D, so it's a standard D blues type of maneuver at the 10th fret. So imagine you're playing in the blues box on the 10th fret, but you can't play on the 6th string, or you can't play a blues box on the 6th string because remember we tuned it down. So it's going to be like this. Okay, so the first riff is out of that, and it's our standard, the Chuck Berry type of thing, okay? So, and you can get away with playing the Chuck Berry type of riff here. So we're going to do that. So you'll play on the 12th, bend it up to the 14th, or bend it up a whole step. And then play the 10th and the 10th on the, you're going to do your bend on the 3rd string, and you're going to play your Chuck Berry thing on the 2nd and 1st string on the 10th fret. So like this. And if you want to, Page is a little bit sloppy, which is fine. It works real well in this one. You can just kind of hit the notes if you want, or you can hit them individually. It doesn't much matter. So the second part, once you play you're going to play on the 12th and bend it up to the 14th and come back down to the 12th, pull off to the 10th, and hit the 12th on the 4th string, like so. And then you're back up to the 12th on the 3rd string. Then play off on the 10th. And finally you'll play the 4th string 12th. And then the last line, which is just 12 on the 4th string, 12, 10, 4th string 12, 3rd string 12, on the 3rd and 2nd string, and on the 10th, and play on the 3rd and 2nd string, like so. And it sounds great, okay? Page didn't quite do that. It was kind of somewhere in between. So he hit some chords, he hit some single notes, but you can think of it this way. Okay, second line comes after again. And it's going to be, again, out of that blues box position. I play it like this. So I'm going to play the 13th, and I'm going to bend up. Notice I'm playing it with my 3rd and reinforcing with my 2nd, so I can get a whole step bend up. Okay, so you're going to play on the 13th, bend up a whole, and then hit the 10th twice on the 1st string. So the bends are on the 2nd string. All right, you're essentially matching that. If you hold it down, you'll hear how it matches. Right? So you're essentially matching that. So you play it a bend, and then twice on the 10th, and then a bend. Then the second time is you play it 3 times, and then you'll play on the, now you're going to bend on the 1st string, 13th, a whole step. And you're going to rake down on the 10th. So what I'm doing here is I'm raking my pick, holding this loosely. I don't even have to hit those notes. And on the 10th, I'm playing the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd by raking backwards, like this. Okay? Executed quickly, or a little more quickly, it sounds like this. Okay? Play that again. That's a bit tricky, especially that when you play it up to speed, that part's kind of tough. Okay? So again, let's play that a little bit slowly, and so you'll get it. Okay, now here's the solo, or the solo bit over the second riff. Oops. Okay, this one sounds tricky, and it's played, in fact, very quickly, but it's actually not that tough. So what you're going to play is you're going to play, basically, you're going to utilize open strings. So on the first string, you're going to play 3, and you're only going to pick that first note, and then you're going to pull off to 1 and pull off to 0, pull off to the open. Okay, so 3, 1, 0. And on the second string, you're going to do the same thing. On the third string, you're going to play 3, 2, 0. And on the fourth string, you're going to play 3, 1, 0 again. And you do that twice. Okay? Executed quickly, sounds like this. Alright? And that one's a little bit different. So, practice that. Again, it sounds like this. And here's a little secret to that one. On the third string, if you forget and you play 3, 1, 0, nobody will notice. Did that really make that much of a difference? No. Alright, so you can get away with that too. But technically it's 3, 2, 0. Alright. Last part, again, he shifts back to the main riff. Here's the toughest part, and this is kind of influenced by, believe it or not, country playing. So in this case, Page is playing out of a major pentatonic scale, which is a D major pentatonic. So instead of the blues like this, he's playing out of this one. Okay? And you'll hear that a lot in playing like Your Time Is Gonna Come. He plays kind of a countrified sound. Alright, so let me think about how this one goes. So he plays 3 times, and then on the fifth, so that line kind of sounds like this. Jeez, I can't play it. Alright, so let's break down that note for note, and I'm kind of forgetting the tempo of it a little bit, as it's one of those things where you play the whole contiguous solo, you get it. Alright, but what that one is on the 5th string, you're going to play, and you'll see there's a lot of slides and going up strings. So on the 5th string, you're going to play the 5th fret with your first finger 3 times. And then you're going to play the 7th and slide up to the 9th. So that one is slide up to the 9th, and you'll play 7th, 9th, 7th as you're walking up from the 5th all the way to the 3rd string. Very common sort of move. And then when you come up to this one right here, you're going to play that 3 times. Okay, and you'll do the same walk up. So by playing 3 times on the 7th now, which again is a D. See, the first time you go from D to D, D on the 5th to D on the 3rd. See, those are both D. The second time you'll go from D on the 3rd all the way to D on the 1st. Okay. Okay, so 3 times on the 7th, on the 3rd string. And then you'll play the 9th, slide up to the 11th. And the 10th on the 2nd string, 12th on the 2nd string, 10th on the 1st string, and then you're going to bend, do that unison bend again on the 13th by bending up a note. And I think you do that twice. Okay? And that's it. And then you're back on the last one playing this riff again. Let's play the whole solo bit one more time slowly so you get the whole thing, okay? So let's try it. That's it, and now at least you can play Moby Dick on guitar. As I said, maybe you haven't read Moby Dick, but if you could play it on guitar, I guess that's about half of the battle. The other half might be drums. That is a different lesson. I'm no drummer. Bonham was. Good luck with that. All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. I enjoyed making it. Let me know what else works. If you want more Zepp or if you want more other stuff, okay? Take care, and we'll see you on down the road.